Ice Mountain Bobsleds is one of the weirdest roller coasters out there. Located at Enchanted Forest in Oregon, this ride is truly one of a kind. This ride is a cross between the Matterhorn bobsleds and a mountain coaster, while putting riders in a plexiglass cage. But is this ride actually good? Find out in this review. Ice Mountain Bobsleds originally opened back in 1983. This ride was built in-house by the park, and in its original iteration, it was more like a bobsled. But the ride was modified in 1985 to be a tracked roller coaster. RCDB credits Ascot Design for this coaster. They did help build parts of this ride, but a majority of the heavy lifting was done by Enchanted Forest themselves. This entire park is built in a heavily wooded hillside, and this coaster uses that to its advantage. Off-ride, much of the layout is fairly hidden, but you do see the snow-capped mountain looming over the ride's entry plaza. It looks pretty good from the front side, just don't judge it from the back side when you're riding the flume. I also like how some theming was added around the track. The higher parts of the ride have some snowbanks similar to what you see on Alpengeist's finale. Then the final turn to the station that goes over the pathway has a nicely themed stone archway. From the midway, you would have no clue that's for a coaster. That's how well they blended it in. It is prudent to ride this coaster early in the day. This ride is very low capacity. Each train is comprised of just 3 cars, and each car seats just 1 or 2 people. While you can fit 2 adults in one car, as long as the combined weight is below 400 pounds, a lot of adults choose to ride separately for comfort. So you're looking at maybe 4 to 5 guests per train. Add in a 2.5 minute cycle time, and you can see how this ride has a very low hourly throughput. It accommodates roughly 100 riders per hour. The park has 2 trains, but I'm not sure if both can be run at the same time, as I've only seen one in use in both my visits. The queue consists of a single switchback in the station, plus 2 staircases. If this section is entirely filled, it could be a 30 to 45 minute wait depending on the group sizes ahead of you. Just past that, the plaza has a sign stating the wait is an hour from this point. I have never seen the queue backed up to this point, but I imagine it can on busy days if the park bothered to hang a sign there. The rides open a half hour after the park here, so I would head to Ice Mountain Bobsleds once it opens for the day. If so, it shouldn't be more than a 1 or 2 train wait. The staff does load the trains very quickly at least, which is impressive considering the vehicles are manually unlocked and locked. They were still averaging 30-second dispatches. And that goes back to the restraints, or lack thereof. There are no lap bars, nor seatbelts. You just have the plexiglass cage surrounding riders. While this definitely prevents you from standing up, you get a shocking amount of freedom. There are holes, so you'll get airflow, and they are transparent, so the sightlines aren't too impacted. Well, unless you're trying to film a POV. The seats themselves and the low sides of the vehicle are padded, but taller guests need to watch out for the cage. You can hit your head on some of the transitions if you aren't holding on. The road does not matter too much in this coaster for me, but I think the front car offers a marginally better ride. Due to the cramped station, the staff tends to load this ride front to back, but they seem happy to let people wait an extra ride if they do want the front. And you may want to do that anyway because you're paying per ride. Enchanted Forest no longer has a ride wristband option. Once you pay for the gate admission, rides are an extra fee. Ice Mountain Bobsleds specifically costs 5 tickets or $5. Once dispatched, you have a slow lift hill, and it immediately becomes clear why the cages are there. Branches dangle in front of the train, and the cage just pushes them aside. It's quite a rare sight in a coaster to see this. Then there are some even scarier clearances later in the ride when you head into tunnels. I still instinctively duck at points even with the cage. It doesn't look like you'll fit through the tunnels. This lift hill takes you into one such tunnel, specifically an icy cavern. You slowly roll through the cavern, seeing a Yeti that moves just as much as the one on Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom. You then head outdoors for the thrills. You then have a gradual downhill slope. This section is the snowy theming around it that I noted earlier, and you also go through another short but tight rock tunnel. You then hit a far turn. It's an abrupt turn, offering a jolt of laterals, and you'll audibly hear the train bang through it. This is a theme with this ride, and now you'll have some good speed. You then have a bank turn going around that prior rock tunnel that again gives a jab of laterals. This is probably the shakiest turn on the ride, so definitely be holding on for this one. You then jump upwards into a mid-course brake run. This quick rise gives an okay pop of airtime. It is definitely stronger towards the front. The lack of restraints makes it fairly thrilling when you physically feel your bum lift off the seat. The brake then slows the train way down, disrupting the overall pacing you've built up. After that brief stoppage, you then twist downwards, gradually rebuilding speed. Then there's a sudden dip that gives a solid pop of airtime. You'll come out of your seat in any car, but is better towards the back this time. You then calmly rise upwards and continue rumbling down the hill. There's a turn that leads into this awkwardly banked drop. It's one of the bigger plunges on the ride, and it offers another lateral jolt because of the janky profiling. Then you have this wide helix. No notable forces here, but you are whizzing past all those trees, so the sense of speed is better than it looks off-ride. Since you're now at the lowest point of the ride, there is a second lift hill to take you back up to the top. I do not know the total elevation change, but I would estimate it to be at least 6 to 7 stories considering the size of the hill. Overall, this ride setup is similar to Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain. There's no brake before the second lift hill, so you will be jerked forwards when the anti-rollback catches you. So brace yourself if you're riding with a buddy so you don't smack heads. The second lift is another slow one. At the top, you turn left and have one last little coaster section. You have a mild drop and a bunny hill. Force-wise, these do absolutely nothing, but the bunny hill stands out for a different reason. This bunny hill ducks into a tunnel, and this is easily the scariest near miss in the ride, one of the scariest near misses of any coaster. Since you're above the opening atop the bunny hill, it truly looks like you're going to smash into the rocks. You barely fit through it. You then slow way down the final brakes. You then coast back to the station around this wide turn before coming to a full stop in the station, ending the attraction. Our CDB lists the total track length as 1,600 feet or 488 meters, but this ride feels way longer than that. Not just because of the 2 lift hills, but it feels like the downhill portion is more track than that, so length is not an issue with this one. I think the biggest issue people could have with this ride is that it's undeniably janky. This ride was basically built in-house nearly 40 years ago. The directional changes, specifically when the train builds up speed, are not perfect. You will see and hear the train bang on through those turns. This would be an issue for me if they caused pain, but they don't here. Instead, it gives this ride an out-of-control feeling as your body is jerked around. Just hold on to prevent smashing into the cage. That is the one thing I could see going wrong here. So what would I rate the Ice Mountain Bobsleds? I would give this unique coaster a 6 out of 10. This is a decent ride. It's far from perfect. Some of those imperfections actually help make the ride memorable, namely, those super tight clearances and the kinked elements. You will get some laterals and 2 pops of airtime here. And I love the setting on that wooded hillside. It really enhances the sense of speed, but the biggest con is the pacing. The ride takes a bit to get going, and you have 2 additional stoppages. First, that mid-course brake run, and later with the second lift hill. But ultimately, this is an enjoyable ride. Just don't expect a glass smooth attraction. You're essentially riding a backyard coaster here. One that just happens to go through a mountain, ride down a hill, and put riders in a cage. So those are my thoughts on Ice Mountain Bobsleds at Enchanted Forest. What are your thoughts about this ride? Do you appreciate the jankiness? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.